Welcome aboard, guys. Welcome to the second episode of Beyond the Classroom. As always, we are dedicated to telling stories, inspiring tech careers, and these stories are told by none other than students. On this episode, I have someone who I'm a fan of, someone whom I've seen his work firsthand, and outside looking in, I've seen that he's someone that's extremely dedicated to his career growth. It's none other than Tobiloba Adedeji. He goes by Tobi Solutions in this times. And Tobi is a 300 student of computer science at the University of Lagos. He's also a support engineer at MillionJS. For a while there, he was a developer advocate at MillionJS, and his work is well established. Thank you for coming to me. How are you doing?
Yeah, thank you very much. Excited to be here, and thank you for reaching out then about this stuff.
Thanks so much. Thanks for coming. You didn't hesitate to come. We actually will bit more.
Yeah, of course. Like I've always admired your work from. I mean, yeah, GitHub campus expert, and I've seen what you've done with. For example, like the last. What was that event? The one where Samson and Roots were. Yeah, exactly. So I went to Ogun State that time, so I wasn't able to attend. But yeah, that was awesome. So I mean, yeah.
This is what we
Thanks, bro.
Talk to me. I just got exclusive.
Okay.
Did you start coding in 8?
Did I start?
Coding when you were 8?
No. Actually, Unilag, and this is why I credit Unilag for amongst the many other vices. Unilag is where I actually got to experience firsthand how people could actually, write code and then transform that into software. I've always been using computers since I was a kid, because I grew up with my grandparents. Was there alone. My dad didn't want me to be bored, so he bought me computers. Yeah, started with that CRT.
How old were you when you had your first interaction with the computer?
Well, that was I think I was in primary 3 or primary 2.
And I know I was just in primary 3.
So when he bought that for me, he didn't have a UPS. So obviously, after a couple of months, it crashed, because when they took the lights, it just go down. It was an XP then, and I've been using Windows for a very long time, so I'm very well familiar with Windows. So, but yeah, that was how I got into that. I started coding when I got into Unilag from NitHub. So yeah.
I'll touch on NitHub. I'll touch on the child. What was the child like in general?
Yeah, it was quick. It was mostly me, because I grew up with my grandparents. Like I said, we had a family friend from the next street. So I grew up around adults basically. So I spent a lot of time going through.
Grew up. It's faster than you should because of that.
Yeah, I would say that, because I spent a lot of time hanging out with my grandpa. He used to teach me. Yeah, he used to teach me a lot. I would ask so many questions. He was very well educated. He was an engineer, so he would answer me and stuff like that. Yeah. So yeah.
You're a software engineer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And talk to me about when you first came to university. What was it like?
Yeah, I had no idea what Unilag was. I used to buy bottled water every day at the time, until I realized it was very unsustainable. That's the word. Then I learned to cook and stuff like that. So Unilag was hit me hard, because I've never been in a boarding school in my life, and
It's like your first day in school.
Yeah, exactly. I've never been on my own, but I was used to that fact of living on my own. But I've never actually been away from. Yeah, exactly.
What about the tech scene? What was that first year from a tech point of view?
Oh, computer science is I don't know if you've spoken to any of our guys, but yeah, they don't really so it's a lot. So they don't really expose us to that part. I didn't even know I could build software. I didn't even know people made software that ran on phones and stuff like that. I knew OSs and stuff, but I didn't know people were writing code and transforming that into OS, and they just ship it out. Until I got to my where we went for COVID.
That was your second year, first year?
That was my first year. So I wasted all of COVID. I was binging movies and stuff. So so I came back, and then I saw my friends were already devs and stuff. So I asked them what are you guys doing? They said they were writing HTML, CSS, and JS. I was like, what's that? They said something called React, that they're using it to make websites, and they're getting gigs on Upwork and Fiverr. So I was like, wait, you guys come and teach me these things. I just wanted to be creative. So they sent me YouTube, went way over my head, because I didn't have a laptop then. I had no coding experience except the 6 hours tutorial I would watch before exams and binge. So I had that exam and be like, okay, let's restart this thing. So that was the experience I had. So yeah, obviously NitHub came by because the strike was looming. I was like, okay, I don't want to waste this time again. Let me actually do something. Yeah.
Okay, also, when you picked computer science, what was your thought process like?
Oh, it was the only course that would accept my, because I did my work in this school where most people had their results cancelled. So chemistry, my chemistry was cancelled, but my further maths, I had an A there. I think I had biology and I had some other courses. I went through obviously I wasn't going to engineering because I was not very confident in my math skills, and thank God I didn't go to engineering. So now looking at the brochure, I saw that okay, computer science actually fits. And I've always been curious about, okay, let me actually go for this course because I wasn't doing maths, obviously not, and the other courses. So I just said, okay, let me go for computer science. That was the thought, yeah.
Well, based on that stuff, you see like you made a right decision. Like, especially when you compare like your expectations to the reality, you see like that makes sense.
Yeah, I would say that because I would probably not have been exposed to the things that I am exposed to now and the people I met and the connections I made. Yeah.
And so now let's touch on your learning phase, right?
Okay.
So you said you wasted it.
COVID, yeah.
I was second strike, now it's
2020. Yeah, exactly.
So how do you, was it like the first day of strike, like, let's do this JS, HTML, CSS thing? Like, what was that learning phase like?
Oh, I knew there was no way I knew if I was going to learn this thing on my own, it was going to be more harder, and it was very and probably I'll just give up in between because I have this thing where I get bored of stuff when I'm when I'm not seeing like, okay, even if I strategize several times, it's going to take so much effort. Then I felt, okay, NitHub is collecting 80K. We had a discount there, I think it was 8K, so 72K for Million.JS students. So I was like, okay, let me actually go for NitHub. I went back to Ogun State. I spoke to my parent about it. I begged my dad. He paid half of it that time. So it was like, okay, let's give this a go. So they sponsored my transport from Ogun State to...
That's come every day.
Yeah. So I was coming at like 3K or something per day.
Imagine.
Yeah, so yeah, I used to wake up like 4 a.m.-ish.
That dedication.
and I wouldn't have breakfast, so I come to Unilag. I had to manage my transport because if I ate anything, even if I so much bought biscuits, I was going to trek. I've already trekked to Ogun State, so I had to like manage to go to be out there in Yaba. But sometimes I'll stand. So yeah, that was the idea. When I go home, I will spend some time before sleeping to actually practice some things we did in class and do my assignments. Then wake up. Yeah, that was.
Someone look at your tweets and I will video of working and I see like, they won't know I'd be this guy. He tricks. Last standing behind, no one knows that. That's been amazing.
Yeah.
You touching that is quite interesting to me. As you said, when you work with people, you realize that the effort is not as much as you pay most of them.
Yeah, exactly.
And sometimes with evidence, your tech journey is like you're part of the community.
Yeah.
How different do you think your tech will be if like you have that community energy?
Oh, I feel like from time I've always been that person that I learned or I try to like adapt more when I have like people around me doing the same thing. One of the reasons why I went for a jam tutorial was because I felt if I studied at home, I was just going to probably give up or I would not achieve what I needed. I went to a jam tutorial, I met so many amazing smart people that I learned from, and I also got to like rub minds with them and stuff like that. So things that actually like leave an impact. And when I felt that, okay, I actually want to learn this front-end thing and NitHub is out there. So I felt going for NitHub would be a good choice because I'll meet other people there. Obviously, there'll be struggles in class. One student to be better than the other. I don't really want to be the best student, but I want to put in the effort to actually learn what I want to come and learn. Somebody's better than me, I'll go to him. How did you do stuff? So that's always my thought process. So like when I want to learn stuff, yeah.
Okay, so you keep talking about NitHub.
Yeah.
And personally, my side of the subject is like a tech up. I reckon that the goal in NitHub is to be like, map some of the source.
To do what?
Something like build up Nokia.
Oh, I actually like.
Basically,
yeah.
I know like it's a tech up.
Yeah.
And we keep talking about NitHub. Kind of what you do at NitHub, what program you joined, the 702K program.
Oh yeah, it's called NitDev, and we're the first ever set of NitDev. So obviously, a lot of people say it was a scam because Dr. Odumiwa came there to our class. I think we just finished one class then. So he just walked into the class and I was like, oh, if you have a laptop, go to this side of the class. If you don't have a laptop, go to that side of the class. I think that was the include program. I didn't have a laptop. So I didn't enroll for include then because it's a program NitHub runs annually where they give out free laptops. to people that are trying to like get started. But I didn't enroll then because I don't know what I did. I think I was learning Python on my own then. I was watching Mosh, something like that. So yeah, so I at that point I didn't go, but I felt that okay. Then later on there was a broadcast that okay, they're in a boot camp and that strike was looming. So I enrolled for that NitHub program. And yeah, that was pretty much it. Oh, it was a 3-month program. Yeah, 12 weeks. Yeah.
How supportive you feel that the NitHub community has been?
Yeah, very, very supportive. I mean, we had free Wi-Fi, so that was that was yeah, it's a lot. And it was at the point when NitHub wasn't this loud, so it was just me and my guys grinding, watching to YouTube. I think I've even sat through a 16 I sat through like a 16 playlist video once on Firebase. That I need to, because we have free Wi-Fi. Obviously, I was not yeah, I didn't want to watch movies because they was Sapa and there was Sapa too. So I was like, okay, yeah, this is not movie time. Let me actually learn this thing. Yeah, so yeah, the Wi-Fi was there, the freedom was there. I could do anything I wanted, and I just felt okay. Let me use this for something productive. Yeah.
I guess it was really
Yeah, yeah. So
something that's also really evident in the journey is actually is communities, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're part of the Fossey community.
Yeah.
I reckon it's a community of content creators.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do then? How was that like?
Oh, so Fossey was a started. Oh, Fossey. Okay, actually, Fossey was existing on Twitter already. I had interacted with most people in the community, but I didn't know they were like in a thing called Fossey. So I was like, so there was a point where they were like, you join this community. It was Francesco then, and actually I've met Francesco as at one point when I did a hackathon. It was the NitHub hackathon. So yeah, it was 2022. They was working for Agora then. Yeah, so he did a hackathon. Me, Emmanuel, Fifi, and David. Yeah, I think yeah, my friends. So we enrolled for that hackathon, and we actually got to the finals. And we're part of the finals. I think we're 11 finalists and we're number 8. So Fifi was globally. So Fifi was a designer for 2 groups, and she actually won. She was a designer for the guy that won, and she was our designer too. So she gave us like something. I was actually shocked that she gave us out of the. So I was like, okay, thank you very much. She's still a good friend to say. So yeah, that was when I met Francesco. He pronounced my name then in the yeah, I still remember. He pronounced my name then in that video that they were announcing the finalists. So and then I did a bit of research and stalking, and I eventually found out okay, he's on Twitter. So I got more active there. That okay, there's a tech community here, and that kind of like started that dynamo effect thing of me actually like searching for communities and stuff. I volunteered actually. Oktoberfest was closed. I volunteered to work on their websites. It was next year's and Tailwind. So I was like, yeah, I can actually work on this. And he made me a maintainer then. So that was with Fossey and with me and communities. I mostly go for the technical parts. Like, okay, you guys are looking for tech help. Yeah, I can do this. So I'm not really so and it just so happened that my content was tech stuff related. So it just made sense that I could work on this and make content about what I was working on.
Yeah. You mentioned maintainer, and I'll leave me to the next question. But then I'm curious. Prior to that journey, it seems like you reaching out to people, you watching it community, your friends, you guys having that whole camaraderie.
Yeah.
So it seems like how important do you think soft skill has been inside technology? Like having that, being able to communicate well, working as a team.
I feel like it's a highly it's been highly beneficial because
you reckon it's underrated?
Yeah, I would say so because I mean now it's even evident now because even with big tech and all this JP Morgan and stuff, they still kind of like find a way to hit on those your soft skills, even though people don't talk about them. A lot of people just think okay, you need to know how to write an algorithm that would fetch or from all the databases in the world in Java before you get into JP Morgan. But no, people that have gone and come back have told us that they care about your in teams. Yeah, exactly, with your engineering manager and stuff like that. So I would say for soft skills, I learned them doing it was actually before I got into tech. So I used to be a cable guy and I used to do solar and stuff. I still have the knowledge. If I see a DSTV, I can probably figure stuff out. So I spent a lot of time interacting with clients a lot. So I would get sent by the company I worked for to places around Lagos. So I was in University of Lagos. I was in year 1 actually. So I would get sent to go and work with clients. Obviously, I had to sell to clients, and I had to have a way to sweet talk clients to drop in money. So that was I was a salesman. So I had to technically not, but for you to actually collect money from a client, you need to be a salesman. Yeah, so yeah, exactly. So I would have time. I would making this interaction was very hard for me because I grew up. Would I say introvert? I would not say I'm an introvert, but I would say I just didn't like talking to people a lot. So yeah, exactly. To start talking to people and actually having actual conversations.
You want to learn that whilst to be in it.
Yeah,
now you're coming to MillionJS.
Yeah, and stuff. Yeah, exactly.
Now, maintaining MillionJS. Many people know you out there, probably just know, even not to be, probably already know MillionJS. And so big on MillionJS, I even decided to turn this MillionJS, right? And so talk to me, how do you get started with MillionJS?
Oh, like same process really. I was on daily dev, shout out to daily dev. I was going through the extension for daily news on tech stuff in the dev space. So then I saw React virtual DOM makes new virtual DOM makes React 70% faster. I was like, wait, what? I was like, yeah, I have to see this. So I clicked on the link. It took me to the docs then, and then I read through. It was very smallish, very simple docs and direct. Like, okay, install, test it out. I set up a Vite app. I installed it. I did a small counter app. I saw how fast it was. Vite was already fast, but then me having this thing inside my Vite app, like, and then running it and then seeing the differences that I had with like a normal counter app, it was like, oh, this is actually crazy. I need to know who built this. So I joined the Discord. It was like, was it 23 people then? I remember that were in the Discord. So then I joined. This was in 2023, and I joined. I reached out to. So I reached out to Aiden. I was like, "You Alpha, let's set up a coffee chat. I really like your work, and I think I should have a conversation about this thing you built." We had a coffee chat then. We talked about stuff, and then he told me that he's been pushing Million for like since 2021, and I needed like community help with like because he wasn't really good with community stuff, but he was good with like shipping every day and stuff. Yeah, you want to say something?
I think we talked to the CEO.
Yeah, Aiden Bayer. So we had a chat, and then I was like, yeah, sure, I'd love to help out with community stuff, and I'm also a front end dev, so I can help out with maintaining and stuff. So yeah, he added me. We created the Twitter accounts. We created LinkedIn, and yeah, that was it.
Because what's motivated at the point where you're in 200 level?
Yeah, I was in 200 level. Yeah.
What motivated 200 level to reach out to like that? Talk about see your short. Like that's amazing.
Yeah. It was. Yeah.
Or you need to become a developer.
Yeah, I volunteered. It was a volunteer. I was like, yeah, I can take on this role for you and showcase Million out there and tell people how great it is and stuff.
What's experience like? Because when you talk about like open source projects, it's really big. Yeah, MillionJS has open source projects, one of the big ones out there. Right? So what's the experience like working on such a big open source projects?
Yeah, so Million didn't start. Yeah, Million was actually one of the biggest projects I worked on because I used to maintain two of Francesco's projects, and that was 4C and Free Web 3 resources. Free Web 3 resources had like 3K stars. It was like the biggest project I ever worked on as at that point. Then I joined Million. Million already had like 6K stars when I joined. So I was like, okay, yeah, this is fascinating. Let me actually let me see what the experience is like. So obviously there were so many people on the repo, either contributors, that come and go. Issues were a lot. Yeah, there were a lot of issues and pull requests. So I did some things, triaging that, interacting with people, talking with people and being like, oh yeah, what are you working on? What's the update on this? I don't think we need to merge this PR now. Okay, issue is not on our roadmap. Things like that. So it was a very huge paradigm shift for me because I wasn't very acquainted to that much stress. Let me put that.
Because like open source maintainers,
yeah,
it's so stressful because you're maintaining an open source project,
yeah,
and there's some random guy that wants a particular feature,
yeah, for just himself.
He doesn't care.
I just want this thing. Yeah, exactly. So it was definitely one of the craziest things that happened to me open source wise because, and I also think I credit that for my open source experience because when I got into open source, I had the experience of firsthand being a maintainer and a contributor. So I already know what it was like from both ends.
Since
Yeah.
you know what you're thinking.
Yeah, exactly. I already know what it was like from both ends. So it just made yeah, it sort of like just made okay, what am I looking for? It just made the know-how easier for me and stuff. Yeah.
When you like your work with MillionJS, what's that one workplace culture that okay, this is workplace culture shocked out? I didn't start coming. What's that been like for you?
Like workplace culture. What do you mean? Like how?
Like has there been anything? I'm still position. Do you have any experience prior to MillionJS? Like workplace experience, perhaps working in the startup?
Oh yeah, so MillionJS became a startup last year December when they got into YC. But I was actually working for a company called Groove. I still work for Groove. I still have a meeting like this afternoon. But like I work on Groove as a front end engineer. I think mid level technically. It's a Nigerian company. I've never been to the office, but so I had experience working on that, and we kind of like build products with MTN and stuff. So streaming stuff like I think some of the events that happened December with Davido and Tiwa Savage and some people were people that worked on that website and stuff. So that was my experience like working on front end or software.
Was that experience from what you had with MillionJS?
I was sort of because I used to do free work for Million before I joined the company, so it was sort of like I already had experience with GitHub. I knew how GitHub worked in and out. I knew Git. That was already there, so I knew how to communicate with the team. I knew the only thing that was left was just for me to sharpen my technical skills, because the other things I knew how to interact with the senior and stuff like that. Working in open source taught me so much of that it just made the transition so easy. That okay, what am I doing here? What are we working on? What do you need me for? And stuff like that. Yeah.
So talk to me about DevRel. Yeah. So he works as a developer advocate for about 15 months.
Yeah.
And so I'm a random kid out there, and I want to get how to become a developer advocate. Like, what's one advice based on your experience that you have?
Yeah. So DevRel is kind of like a very broad field. I think there's evangelism, there's advocacy, and some other things like that. But the way I did DevRel was very unconventional because I didn't actually use a course or anything. I just freestyled, made so many mistakes. Yeah, exactly. I mean, the thing is that I use those mistakes to actually re-strategize. So I've made several mistakes that I probably didn't talk about online. But like then I use that to actually, okay, what am I doing wrong here? Then I'll go and look at some other people's work. I know people like Francesco that I go to from time to time. Idris Olanetsoft that I ask questions. And what else did I used to meet? There were so many devs around me then that I used to like reach out to, okay, what do you think I could do here and stuff. But yeah, I would say to get started in DevRel is it's more or less about, I mean, it's like you being a marketer. Like if I wanted to market something to you, I actually need to be a user of that thing, and I actually need to understand your language. So if I didn't know front end, if I don't know how APIs work, if I don't know what impact something is making to you in your workflow, I don't know, okay, how is this thing making your users enjoy what you are building? Yeah, you need to like kind of like get those in place first, like understand how to be a developer so that you can speak to developers. Yeah.
And you also mentioned the company doing device in last December.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you.
And seems like you'd be part of the internet groups.
Yeah.
Because it'd be like, I really love it when people are part of organizations, and then I'm part of the organization, and I'm also growing while the organization is growing as well.
Yeah.
So how does it feel like? Does that experience that good for you?
It's like an amazing feeling because Million is one of those things that you would never think could make money or even get money. And then it didn't put a lot of work and hard work. Everybody across the board put their work in their own ways, and it sort of like got Million to where it is today. That most people are talking about it in the front end space and in the React ecosystem. So it didn't happen. It didn't happen like one day. It was so. I mean, I was shocked when Fireship. I think Fireship was the first hype we got. I think the video has about 1 million views on YouTube now. When he first dropped that Million video, I remember that day I was at my so I was like on my laptop. I think I just came back from NitHub. I just saw that so many people were flowing into the server, and people were like asking me, how do I install this? How do I install this? And I literally just opened my laptop on my bed. Then I remember I was standing. My bed is on the top bunk, so I stood throughout like till was it 12 or something. I was just responding to people's questions. So then I now found out later on that Fireship actually made a video about Million that was bringing people into that. So see, I think that was the first time we got. I think it was around July or ish or something. 2023. So that's sort of since then I've actually been hyped about like helping people out. So this support engineer role I work as now, I've actually been doing like for a very long time because the role literally entails me speaking to people, UX, DX. I mean UX is DX for Million because our users are developers. So yeah, I mean yes, all those things like that. So me actually interacting with those people and being like, and then going back to engineering, which is still dev technically, but and then telling them, oh yeah, users need this. Okay, this isn't working. I also tested it out myself. This is a bug, stuff here and there. So yeah, and yeah, I mean, it's growing and becoming. Yeah, it's a very amazing feeling. Yeah, yeah.
So what I'm really really intrigued about your tech career so far is it's not exactly conventional. You're going the open source first, and then you're showing this is your body that love that on the all water, showing like really water, right? And I'm really really that. That's a best surprise.
Thanks.
So I'm quite curious. Let's say there's someone out there that wants to start a career, also wants to go your route.
Okay.
So what advice do you have person also like you their career as a beginner in open source?
Oh yeah, so I would say if you are coming to open source with the motive that you are going to make money, that's the wrong motive. You probably drink Gary a lot and stuff. So so yeah, the thing with and I think that's what one of the things that actually helped me because I didn't know people could make money from open source. So I was just doing it for the fun of it and meeting.
Genuinely enjoy your work.
Yeah, I mean meeting people. Like I literally could just meet one guy that works at Google and we'll just have a normal conversation. I could meet the guy that works at MetaMask or something like that. We'll just be having like conversing normally. That was kind of like the high for me. So I was like, okay, this is actually fun. Then I started finding out things like commercial open source, and then finding things like funding. And the things like, I mean, we have GitHub sponsors in Nigeria now. So, stuff like that here and there. So those were some of the things that I would say, I mean, I found out later, like after, learning the process of how open source works, how GitHub works. Obviously, these are like fundamentals you need to get in the way. So I would say, to do open source now, you need to like erase that fact that you're going to get a job or get funding or get anything first. Yeah, do it. And the best way to do it for a lot of it is to find something that you actually like. So if the project intrigues you, I mean, that's the project you should go for, no matter how shitty the project is. The project is like, okay, this thing resonates with me. Because when you are working on it to feel natural, it wouldn't feel like you wouldn't even set timers. I've seen people set alarms. I want to do open source for this time. That's one of the, it's weird. Yeah, so it's weird. It's just weird. It's like, you should just do it like, like, it should just be like natural. It's like drinking water. I mean, not as extreme as that, but like something that you just do like, oh, okay, let me just check this out. What's this person saying? Yeah, so, I mean, that would be the best way. And the best way to do is like, I mean, finding something you love. I mean, if you love something and you find it very intriguing, it would make it much more natural, like I've said, that you wouldn't have to force things. It should just be like, okay, I'm doing this thing right now and, oh, somebody needs help there. I think I can help with this. Or, have you guys, you tell your team, have you guys looked at this? I think we can actually make some improvements here. Because the work will feel more, they even value you more than somebody that is like, okay, setting like metrics or too many mental gymnastics to try to get to work on an open source project.
I'm guessing from that is I think if you're really passionate about what you do,
so
you're really passionate about what you do, it just comes naturally.
Yeah, it comes naturally.
I think open source is, I feel like it's open source, it's you have to design in this website, right? And I'm designing for just my friends.
Yeah.
My mindset is doing from like I'm designing for like some that 7 million.
Yeah.
Open source does beginning, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And so I'll touch on something now. You GitHub, I think late last year,
okay,
they launched the all-in African program and part of that.
Yeah.
So I'll like to touch on that. But before we do that, let's go on a quick from us on source and come back.
Feeling good in your mental health is a key for a brighter future for you and I. This series is proudly sponsored by Sound as a Bell Initiative. Sound as a Bell Initiative is constantly advocating for open awareness and dialogue concerning everything mental health. Together, let's build a brighter future.
Also, just follow the Sound as a Bell Initiative all strongly on us within Twitter, Instagram, and of course LinkedIn. Thank you.
Sure.
Alright, what one about right? I was going to touch on the GitHub all in Africa.
Yeah.
I think it's better by together.
Yeah.
So talking about that. All the expensive life was the entire program. I reckon the program is like it has a structured curriculum whereby it has open source, have mentorship.
Yeah.
Also like
yeah, so the program is actually very, very fun. Let me start that because first things first, it has a very nice community. It's on Slack, but yeah, let's leave that aside. So,
Let's be on Discord.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, so yeah, when I saw the program, I was like, oh, this is actually fun. Like GitHub doing something that's open source for Africa, and people can actually do this. Then I found out, okay, there's actually a parents program, All In or something I do for students abroad or something. But when I joined, and I saw the curriculum, I actually saw that it was, well, to me it was easy because I already knew. Yeah, because technically I already knew most of the stuff that were there, except JQ and some things with GitHub pages because I didn't really use GitHub pages that much, but I got to learn that from there. But like overall, the program wasn't too difficult, and I was already a maintainer of projects. So there was a point when they give us an assignment that make it out to make contributions, 5 contributions to open source project, and then submit them. So I just took my AirPods out. I was like, which one? I just created the issue. Assigned it to my so I just assigned it to myself. Then I did demo and yeah, it was very exciting because I saw it from a light of also interacting with people like Ruti Kega and being on a mentorship. I was also very great. Most people from the Chaos project, if you know people from there, were actually brought. Yeah, Ruth's team, yeah, Kingsley, UK Dev, and some other people were actually brought onto the project. So it's actually very, very fun because got to learn so much. Interacted with Sarah. Sarah was like the I think she's the head of diversity or something at GitHub. So she was there on the program. So other GitHub people were also around there in the Slack that would hold, like, they would do some like seminars and stuff for us. So yeah, it was a very fun program. Graduated like last month or something. Yeah, thank you. And yeah.
Did you say you recommend it for like someone just getting into open source?
Yeah, I thought
it's exactly for someone like that.
Yeah, it's for beginners. I would say that because the program is well structured. They're providing per course. They're providing like 2 alternatives for you: watch videos or read text. I had so much PTSD with videos because I used to watch 7-hour videos. So I was like, nah, I'm not doing videos again. So I just read text and would move to courses, do the exercises per text because I like project-based learning because I feel like, yeah, it's kind of like
so much more.
Yeah.
So you learn so much more.
Project-based learning. Yeah, because I feel like it's more practical for me, which is one of the things that I sometimes question in computer science, like, why are they making us learn this thing from a book and reading several chapters? Why are they not making us practicalize this thing? So project-based learning is one of the core things that was actually central to the program. So yeah, that made it really.
You reckon there'll be a second course?
Yeah, they said there will be a second course. Yeah, after this. Yeah.
We out there. I think the ordinary can be very good start for us.
Yeah.
Maybe in a couple of months.
Yeah.
I think also really big on building public. I don't speak to people about building public in general. The major fear they have is who you want to judge.
Oh.
They don't want that. It depends on the machine learning points of view.
Okay.
Model as perhaps and the model is not good. And then people are, what is brother doing? Because like, what advice do you have for someone who has a challenge? Because I reckon that building a public is really, really good. So what do you think about that? Like, and what advice for someone like that?
Yeah, I think the way to think about it is that somebody criticizing your work and giving feedback is just maybe the person is speaking from a point of privilege because they are good. But you need to look back and be like, okay, this person was actually very shit at one point before they actually became good. So them criticizing your work, it doesn't eliminate. I've pushed. I don't even care. Like, well, people don't insult me that much, so maybe they do subtly. Maybe I don't get it, but like, I just like yeah, let's just do it. So I just put it out there. I like, okay, I'll just be like, okay, give your feedback or something like that here and there, and yeah, and I think that those like tiny feedbacks, constructive criticism, were in any form that I collect, it sort of like helps me to like refine and be like, okay, I can actually make improvements in these places. And there are actually some very good people out there that are very nice, that will give you the right feedback that you need. So I think regardless, just do it and put it out there, because if you are relying on the fact, if you are like scared of or you are trying to avoid people spitting on your work or saying stuff about your work, I don't think it actually matters, just because that's their opinion. So yeah, just do it.
Fair enough. Also, you combine a lot of classes with your schoolwork.
Yeah.
You mentioned a couple of open projects, member of community. How do you maintain that? How do you juggle that together with academic work as well?
Oh yeah, I always say it's vibes and inshallah, but like but like the yeah, and that's really it because the way I've done is that I've managed to form a routine out of the things that I do so that I know what I should be doing at a point or what I shouldn't be doing. Obviously, school has a timetable that will probably mess up your entire routine, but you still need to find a way to make it work. I mean, it's just a priority listing. So, okay, this is a priority at this point. I should be working on this. I should be doing this at this point. Or I have some free time. Maybe I can do this or watch YouTube shorts on Netflix or something like that. So stuff here and there is how I mostly manage it. So it's about carving out my priorities and then making a routine from those priorities.
Two quick questions. This one, yes or no?
Yeah.
This one, how do you feel about this one?
Yeah, it's good.
You use this one?
No, I don't use it like primarily. So I mix it like with the whole host of other tools, yeah.
Don't share the tools.
Oh yeah, I use tools like GitHub, guess.
like productivity tools.
Okay, well, productivity tools. Okay, yeah, I mostly use like my notes app, I guess, and then I use Twitter. People might see my Twitter and think that I'm just saying rubbish. But like I use them as no, but maybe it's cruise. But I use those tweets as like a diary thing. Like, okay, I use them to like document. Yeah. So it's like a sort of like a diary thing. So when I tweet or about something, it's me just putting a stamp on that thing. And when I'm about to work on something, I use Notes app and then yeah, I use the motivation that I don't want Sapa to kill me. I think these are the motivations. I don't really have like a set timer, set alarm. I don't work that way, to be honest, because if I did it, I'll just collapse or something. So I don't want to do it. Yeah.
How do you feel about anime?
Oh yeah, I don't watch anime. All my friends, all my friends do, and they've tried to bring me in, but I just haven't gotten it.
Talk to me about. I think mental health is also and topic.
Yeah.
I said where you best and resource maintainer. It must be a lot. Demand you and all that.
Yeah.
So what do you do for self-care?
Oh, yeah, like I said, I'm a very huge movie fan and I'm a culture fanatic. So I'm like, I could just be like, oh yeah, okay, I want to watch an Indian movie today and I want to learn a bit of Hindi. I want to see what the culture is like in Cuba or something like that. I just watch movies like to learn about people's cultures, or I listen to their music, or I listen to music a lot. Yeah, I like music because I feel like music. yeah, because and the reason I listen to music is because I feel like in one way or the other they're trying to like express an emotion to you that you need to like decode kind of. So yeah, I listen to music, I watch movies, and yeah, that's mostly what I used to dish. And I hang out with friends a lot. Yeah, like my friends, we just chatting about something, or maybe something in the dev space, or just normal talk. Yeah.
What movie have you seen recently that stands out for you?
I would say it's I think it's Roadhouse. That was the movie I saw recently. It was the Jake Gyllenhaal or something. Yeah.
All right, I'll cut to the end of this.
Yeah.
And I'm curious. Can you go back in time? Was a retired tech career, perhaps the last 3 years? Is there anything you like to change? Like if you could change, you change.
Yeah, I think it's just the fact that I would just tell myself that that imposter syndrome, or you just having that feeling of, okay, I don't think I'm good enough for this. Yeah, I did. There was a point when and thanks to director for this at NitHub. So he assigned us to a project. Yeah, we obviously shit them because because we're just kind of like graduating and we hadn't any real world experience. So he put us on a project and he told us, okay, this project's for a client. And then we started, built a lot of crap, and then it started over, built rubbish again, and then it started over. So that's sort of like put a thing on me like, okay, am I ever going to actually get this? But I'm actually thankful for that project because that project was one of the pivotal moments of my life when we actually did get it right in the end. And the people that I did that project with, they're all grown now. They're like working at several companies and stuff like that. So it's kind of like a good feeling that I would just tell myself that, like this thing takes time and you don't actually need to get at the first go. The idea is that you make the mistakes, because if you don't make the mistakes, you actually won't get it. Yeah.
All right. One last thing for you here.
Yeah.
We talk about AI. Do you think AI replace me?
So I think AI is something that we shouldn't be scared of. It's something that we should embrace. I mean, I don't know why we don't even embrace it in university yet. Obviously, I'm not saying everybody should be doing their assignments to ChatGPT, even though people do it. Yeah, but like I would say, AI is here and it has come to stay, and people use it to code now. People use it to write dissertations, or people use it to get ideas for projects. People use it for yeah, the uses are boundless. So it's so many things. So I would say AI is here to stay, and I'm working on a project at the moment where we are building on top of an we are building on top of we are building a vendor kind of thing, front end, back end software that is going to be interacting with several models. So I think things like LangChain, and I think we have Liquid AI about to work with us on some of the things. So yeah, yeah, so yeah, I would say AI is here to stay, and it's the future, to be honest. So yeah.
All right. So thank you very much for coming. I really appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to come in here.
Yeah, thanks.
What was amazing for you in the future? Right?
Yeah, thank you very much, Ross. Yeah, cheers.